During 1957, giant trailers bearing large, cloaked, cylindrical objects have left California and moved across the country to the East Coast. Under the nylon security cover, being transported from factory to test area, is Atlas, one of our intercontinental ballistic missiles.
Our job is to help our country and the whole free world to build deterrent power sufficiently persuasive to prevent outbreaks which would lead to global war, to buy the time for working out conditions of peace by diplomatic, economic, political, psychological, and other means, for the underlying purpose of a free people's military strength is to safeguard life and not to destroy it, 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 and not to destroy it.
61, 2, and 3. Well, it's just 61, 62, 3, and I left at 64. You had your group, say your launch control was about 10 people, but you had people coming in from the base because these were high maintenance missiles, you know, because they were liquid fuel. You know, and they, for fuel wise, they used, I believe it was kerosene and liquid oxygen, you know, but they were laying down. They were laying horizontal.
Lift them up.
Then they raise them up. And this is the blockhouse. Fabulous food in there, you know, because we had our own cook, you know, so to speak. Yeah, one of these had some bunks in it for sleeping at nighttime, because we work 24 hours straight when we come out to the site. And then this would be the launch control room.
Wow.
But that had a raised floor because all their cables and everything were below it to come up to the consoles. The biggest threat was I believe was a Cuban Missile Crisis. That got everybody on, you know, high alert. Now, it was heavy into maintenance people. Maintenance people would be coming from the base every day, you know, because they had to bring out the liquid oxygen, they had to bring the helium out, you know, in tanks and all that, so. Because when you can see that thing raised up and then you put the liquid oxygen in, you can see the vapors coming off the missile. You know, it was an awesome sight, you know. I worked at this site and the one east of town. Then we had two sites north of town, up around Chuckwater. Our squadron was 565th. Strategic Missile Squadron, and we had 3 of these sites. I worked this one and one east town. I never worked the one north town, and all 3 of them sites are exactly the same as it. Now the 564th, they had 6 missiles on their site, and that's up north. One of them was the office, another was the bunk room. And you see these 3, had 3 generators in here. And then all the switch gear was up and down there. We say all windows, it was an easy target, so to speak. Everything else is secured. All I had to do was do away with electric. You know, it was, I always wondered what were they thinking, you know? They say these Atlas D missiles were such a high maintenance.
Yeah.
You know, now they just fill them up with solid fuel, put them in the ground, and forget about it. The nose of the missile would be out this way, and it'd be landing here horizontal. That roof system supposedly weighed 400 tons. Well, the missile laying here, it would come straight up. So it'd be back there. If you go back there, you'll see a burn pit, they call them. When the rocket shoots off, all the flame would shoot out. But you gotta remember, it didn't have any fuel or nothing in it until it got into the straight up.
Right.
Then that's when they started putting the fuel in it. They would never ignite the missile. They just raise it up, test it, go through all the stages, right down to push the red button. I was about the youngest one on the crew. And everybody else was ancient. They was 25, 26.
That is old.